In this video I show you 2 ways how to make a shirt placket. First you need to mark the center line of planks along which buttonholes will be. At first I will show you an easy way to sew the button placket. Using this method you must add 6 to 7 cm wide allowances from the center line. I recommend highlighting the marked center line with a thread. I also recommend making a placket of paper and marking location of the buttonholes on it. In my video, the placket is 3 cm wide, but the wide can be different, from 2.5 to 4 cm. Now you need to move from the center line by half the width of the placket and mark new line. Fold the placket along this line and press. Now you need to stitch on wrong side of shirt to finishing line 0.1 to 0.2 centimeters. Note, using this method, the allowances from center line for button placket should be made on both sides of shirt of 6 to 7 centimeters. But if you want, can make on the one side only, as in my video. In this part of the video is the second way of sewing the placket. To make it, you need to cut a separate part is cut out. You need to cut the separate piece, or 2 pieces, with a width equal to 2 times the width of the placket plus sewing allowances on both sides. On wrong side of the placket must be add thin adhesive interfacing. Put paper placket along the center line of front part and mark a line. The width of seam allowance from the marked line should be equal to seam allowance of the button placket. But if the seam allowance on the front part of shirt is wider than on the placket, then it must be cut off a little. Fold the placket and shirt with the front sides together and stitch along the ironed line of seam allowance. The back of the placket should be slightly wider than front part. Therefore, the placket allowance on back side must be ironed to a smaller width. The stitching should run exactly along the seam line and grip the back part of the placket. In this way the finishing stitching will be invisible on the front side of the shirt.